website. So if you want to listen afterwards, that's always possible. I think that's the most important for now. Holly will introduce Brady and GoReact further. Thank you. Enjoy the evening.
Or morning or afternoon, or wherever you are in the world. Morning for me. Hello, welcome. And yes, I am very pleased to have with us today Brady from GoReact. GoReact.com is something that we found out about courtesy of Deborah Mayer, who's an ACTO member and was at the conference this year in Phoenix. I think it's a cloud-based application, and I think has fantastic possibilities for us in one of the jobs that I'm going to say I don't enjoy the most about coach training, which is evaluating coaching sessions. And I think it's going to provide us with some fantastic opportunities for evaluation of coaching sessions. And I think something that GoReact is very passionate about is giving feedback to students in a way that is very effective for their learning. And so this tool, in my experience, is one of those things that really enables students to really feel it, to really understand and embody what it is we're trying to tell them as feedback on their coaching. So I'm hoping Brady's going to be able to demonstrate the product well to us today. And I'm sure will let us know how to get in touch if you're more interested, if you want to hear more. And there's Deborah now. So without further ado, again, reminder, if you would keep yourself on mute while you are not speaking, and put any questions in the chat bar if you don't have the opportunity to speak them out loud. And Brady, I'm going to pass it over to you and share your screen whenever you feel it's time.
Great. Hey, and thank you for the introduction. And that's exactly right. What we like to do is kind of help with that whole the process of feedback, and I know that sometimes it's not the most pleasant thing in the world, and we want to make it a little bit more easy and pleasant for everyone. So if you give me just a second, I'll jump onto the screen and we'll start sharing. But as a quick introduction, what we do is we do video-based assessment and feedback. So anytime there is a presentation assessment that's needed, anytime that a student stands up in front of a class and gives a presentation, you know, we're there to give feedback, and it's immediate, and it's a little bit more relevant by giving feedback that's accompanied with a video of the student or the coach in your case. So I will, okay. Just figure this out. Okay. So I've actually already logged into GoReact, and this is what you'll see here as a GoReact user. So again, what we try to do is we try to make things as easy as possible. And so we are actually in the ACTO demo account right now under Haley's account. And we're going to show you just some of the basic functionality of GoReact and how we can help with some of the things you do. So without further ado, this is the main home page, I guess you could say. And so on the left-hand side, we have the courses you set up and also the activities. So we're going to actually just jump right into this activity. And like I said, it's super easy to set all these things up. We try to be as simple as possible when we're setting things up. To create an activity, all you do is come down here to new activity.
Hey Brady,
give it a name.
For a second.
Yes. Yes.
I need to tell the folks about a function about Zoom. If you're not seeing Brady's whole screen, go up to the top of your screen, and there's a little tab that says Options, and click on Fit to Window. And that will make sure that his whole screen will show on yours so that you can see everything that he's pointing to. Okay, so that's Options at the top and then Fit to Window. That's it. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, so so setting up an activity is really simple. Simply put, you give it a title, points possible, type. There's a couple different types we can do. there's a presenter self-record where, you know, a participant or the coach will submit a video to you as the instructor or the evaluator, and they will be looking for feedback from you. There's also live record. So if there is a classroom setting where you're actually standing up in front of class and you know, there are coaches or students and there's an evaluator actually giving the feedback, you can do that. So that's really easy to set up. And once it's set up and a video is created or uploaded, you can immediately start giving feedback with that video. So Haley has actually uploaded a video for us, and I'm actually going to click on this and show you a couple things in here. So as an evaluator, you'll actually see, this is what you'll see when you log in, and you'll see all of the coaches that have submitted videos to you, and those will all be down here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever it may be. And as the evaluator, all you have to do, recording. So, excuse me, sorry. Let me just exit out of this. So all you have to do to give feedback is over on here on the right-hand side. You push the little play button. And what this is going to do is it's going to start playing the video on the left-hand side. And this is a video that that Haley uploaded, and this is from right from a Zoom chat that she was doing. And as you see, you can upload it and start immediately giving feedback. So on the left-hand side, you have the video pane, and on the right-hand side, you have the comment pane. Now, to add a comment, all you do is you start typing in the add a text comment. As you can see, the video on the left actually stops recording. And it stops, excuse me, it doesn't stop recording, but it stops playing as you collect your thoughts, and you can really figure out what you want to say during this comment. And once you're done with the comment, all you do is you hit enter. Video starts playing again on the left-hand side, and the comment is recorded and time-stamped on the right-hand side. Now, as the student is watching, the student or the coach is watching this video, as these comments, as they're watching the video, these comments will pop up on the lower part of the screen in the actual video. Now, if there's a part of the video that the student really wants to, you know, say that they want to go to this comment here at 46 seconds, what it'll do is once they click that, it'll take them 10 seconds before this comment was made, so they can see what led up to that comment being made, and they can improve from there. Now, there's a couple other things we have here. So as you see, we have all these, and these are what we call markers. And markers are, simply put, they're regular occurrences, or in your case, these are the competencies. The competency number 2.
And if Brady, if I can add, what I did was this is relevant for everybody who's taking the PCC marker training. So I put in 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, and 2.5. Mm-hmm. And there's pluses and minuses for each one of those. So places they demonstrated marker 2.2, and then a place for where they could have demonstrated 2.3, but they didn't, which is something that we're noticing in our training. We need to be able to track positive and counter evidence of certain markers. So I just entered the markers for competency 2, but we have 9. So you can enter as many as you want. So
you can't enter as many as you want. You can't do that.
Yes, actually, I talked to Sammy about it, and we entered these ones, and then we didn't enter any for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or 8, or 9, but I'll let Brady, I think there is a maximum, but.
There is a maximum of 15. I was online. There's a maximum of 15.
So yeah, and that's a really good question. And there have been we had a discussion with Haley not too long ago, and that was one of the things that we discussed was the limit of 15. And you know, that can certainly be changed based on needs base. And so we haven't really had any user case scenario to do any more than 15. But I feel like this would be something that we can, you know, discuss even further if that was something that Haley and the rest of the crew would be interested in doing. So, yeah, so basically, like Haley said, these are the competencies, and you can do, you know, 2.3 plus, which is means that it's, you know, that competency was a good review of that competency. And then there's also the negative. So as you're going through, all you do is click those things, just like this. And so those are all recorded and time-stamped. And again, just like I said before, if the student or the coach is curious about, you know, how this competency looked and what really went wrong at, you know, the timestamp of 3:16, they click on that. It takes them 10 seconds before the video begins. And so they can see what leads up to that competency and what they can improve on. Now, as an evaluator, you can also comment on this competency, and you can put exactly why, you know, they failed at this competency or what or why it was really good.
Brady, when could we learn whether we can have all 40 that we need? Because this limit is only 15.
Yeah. So I will talk to, now I'm not the regular person over this. It's actually Sammy. I will talk to Sammy when he gets back and see the conversations that he had with everyone and see, you know, if it is a viable option and if we can get all 40 of those in there for you guys. So it can be shortly after. And in fact, when we are done here, I'll share my email with all you, and you know, feel free to reach out, and we'll get those taken care of, those questions you have. So
When I spoke
a couple other things.
When I spoke with Sammy Sue,
Yeah.
he felt that it was doable. It's just a matter of switching the programming a little bit. So they haven't actually developed it yet, but he said that he felt that it was quite doable because obviously for the markers, that's going to be important to us that we have all of the access to all of them that we need to mark. So
Sure. And I'm already using it and finding it a little bit handicapping. Not
not have all of them. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's great to hear, and that's and what I mean is great to hear is that, you know, we can use that as a example and a use case to add those extra markers to there.
So we have a question in the chat, Brady, that you might want to.
Yes.
Well, two. One was earlier, and does this work with audio only recordings as well? Was one question.
Okay.
And yeah, do you want to that one?
Yeah. Yeah, and Michael, that is a good question. So it works with audio. You don't have to have audio as well, though. Obviously, to give the proper feedback, you know, audio would be best, so you can actually talk more on what they're saying instead of their comments. But and then the other question we have: when will the software be ready, and can you indicate the cost? So, and I'm not sure, Haley, what you've talked to Sammy with about pricing.
I think I'm just going to guess that Michael Pomigi I would answer the question that this already exists. It's the only part that doesn't exist is having all the capacity to do all of the markers.
Right.
And
Yep.
he's asking about the cost. Like GoReact already exists in the form that we're looking at right now, and people are using it already. Maybe you could speak to the cost.
Yeah, so, and that's what I was going to ask you, Haley. I don't know if Sammy has worked out any special pricing, anything like that. So we work a lot with higher education, and what we do basically is a student pay model, and it's $20 for the semester. Now I know that you know that may be a little bit different with your scenario with coaching, everything like that. And so, you know, certainly we can get with Sammy after and answer those questions about cost for this organization.
Yeah, well, the thing I think
So that's a good question.
Important for you to know, Bertie, is that we all have different schools. We are part of a member association. That's the call that you're on right now is active.
Okay.
But we're not associated other than that. So each school has their own training program, and some of them might be 6 months long, some of them might be a year long, some might be an 8 month long.
Got it.
I think explaining that the model is that it's free for teachers, but the student pays per semester, and then they can upload videos or audio recordings, and then as teachers we can access those recordings for free and evaluate them for free. I think that's the important thing to know about that model.
And Hallie, I think it's also very important to know that we as the school can pay for our students. So if my students are paying me thousands of dollars, and I'm not going to ask them to pay an additional $20.
Sure.
So I can pay GoDirect directly, and they'll give me the codes, and I upload them, and the students don't pay anything.
Great.
Exactly. Yeah, so there are a few different options. Like you said, that we have the option of doing, you know, working with the bookstore code, bookstore when they purchase their books. It'll just be included with, you know, the book for that semester. The student pay, the department pay is also an option. And really it just depends on how you'd like to do it. But it's totally free to all the instructors, or in your case, evaluators. And then it's just the students that actually receive the feedback are the ones that theoretically pay, unless you know, the whole department pays for it. Okay, we have another question from Michael. When will the capacity for all the markers be included? Since we have a new training starting on September.
No pressure.
Now that's the question. Sorry, what was that?
I said no pressure, but can you do it by next?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that'd be great. So as soon as we got off the phone here, I'll get with Sammy and get with the production team and see when we can get that feature for everyone.
And Brady, I had a lengthy conversation with Sarah last week, and she's already talked to some of your tech people. So you might check with her also.
Perfect. And I will put that in my notes to follow up with her as well. Thank you for that.
We like to be an informative bunch, you'll notice.
Yeah, I like it. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple other things here, just in GoReact. As you know, there's a lot more feedback that you can give outside of just text comments. So we do have other options. So you can actually record yourself speaking and say that you're working on inflection, anything like that. And it's not going to pull up because I have like 4 other video things on right now. But basically what you can do is to record yourself talking, and it has that option as well. Oops, get back into here. Okay, there's other options like uploading a video, going to YouTube, just a straight audio file. There's also a library. So if you have videos that you have used in the past for, you know, feedback purposes, you can add that here. And then the end note. And what the end note is exactly that. It's just the final thoughts It's limited to 2,000 characters, and so basically your details of everything. There's a couple other things I want to show you in here as well, and I keep on doing that on accident. Up here, you'll see a attachment, and you click on that. That is actually a transcript that Haley has uploaded to here. And so when you're setting up your course, you can actually attach these transcripts for feedback purposes.
And I think in our case, we likely would ask our students to provide a transcript of either an audio and a video recording and the transcript to us as the evaluator, and then they would be there ready for us to evaluate both the script and the video or audio would be ready for us. That's, I think, the way it would work best for our profession.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And if we have an internal rating form that we ask our students to complete, they can also upload that rating form. So I have a proprietary rating form that my students complete, and they just can upload it right there.
Yeah, great.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and all those things can be, uploaded right there. Speaking on rating as well, we also have rubrics in here, and this is a rubric that has been set up. Rubrics are very easy to set up in GoReact, and basically you can, have right here we actually have the competencies for competency 2,
yeah.
And all you have to do is check off each one that they do well at. And you come up here to the right-hand side, post this evaluation, and you can see that the grade shows up. Okay, we're getting a couple questions in here. One from Lee Smith: is it possible to have a preview info session with our decision maker at the university? Yeah, certainly. And like I said, as soon as we're wrapping up here, I will provide my email address with everyone, as well as Sammy's. Feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to schedule some sort of demo session with you and the decision makers there. And then we also have another question: is it possible to share our feedback from this system directly with ICF when they want to review our ACTP? That's a good question. Let me find out. Let me see. Share feedback from our system directly with.
So one of the things that, that would be cool for you to show, that thing, there's a function where it collects the number of, it actually counts the number of places you put a certain marker.
Yeah. Yeah, certainly. And I can,
because I think,
go ahead.
Well, the ICF is just in the process of, they haven't told us what their magic formula is for how they pass a call based on how many of each marker is demonstrated or the negative are demonstrated. So I think what would be interesting is if we could share the evaluated file with another user like the ICF. I think it's pertinent to the question that just came before that too, which is it possible to have two people give feedback on the same video separately, which we actually just did. I gave the original feedback and you gave more.
Yes. Yeah, and that's a really good point. So first part of that, so feedback graph, this will show all the places where the feedback was given. So you see a timeline of at 17 seconds, Haley gave some feedback. At 36 seconds, I gave some feedback, and so on and so forth. So that's the first part of that. The second part, yeah, we can do peer-to-peer evaluation. So just like you see in this example where Haley is giving feedback, and then me on the other end, as an evaluator, I'm also giving feedback on this as well.
And isn't there something where it counts the number of markers or something?
Sorry, what was that?
Is there somewhere where it totals the number of markers, that like the total number of 2.1s and the total number of, I thought I saw something like that.
That is a very good question, and I'm not entirely sure. Let me find out, and I would be happy to let you know.
Sure.
Write that down real quick. To count up.
Another good question. Is there also a report function which can be printed or exported, including all comments on the session?
To be honest, I'm not entirely sure. Let me find that out. My immediate reaction will be yes, but again, let me check that out. So just to report on all comments made. One of the things, though, it's as a student or a coach is coming in here and they're looking at all their comments. Once they log in and are able to see their comments, they can see all feedback given right there. And there is a count over here, although I don't know. I'll check on the report and see if there is an actual report for that. Let's see, I have a couple of questions. When you have all the answers for these questions, could you share? Okay, yeah, I would be more than happy to share and I'm writing all these down as we're speaking here, and I'd be happy to share it with everyone. And I'm not entirely sure how to do that, Haley, so maybe you can point me in the right direction with that. So
you can help with the distribution of the information.
Perfect. Okay, perfect.
I can print out all the questions from the chat after the call and make sure that you get them.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. How can we get concrete pricing list? So as far as pricing, like I said earlier, it's for if you just do the student pay model, it's $20 a student. But as discussed, we can do department licenses, and we actually do that based on how many students are going through that course. So we can talk after this, and we can get some information from you about how many students there are, and certainly give you a concrete price for that. But usually, with the amount of students, it will usually range from $15 to like $17. So it's a little bit cheaper than the student pay. What do the color codes stand for? So these are just all the colors that you see are just to help with the variety of different markers that we have. So as far as as far as the color code go, they're assigned to different competencies in this case. So 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, so on and so forth. Whoops.
Oh.
I think it just knocked me off here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Let's share this. Okay, there we go. Okay. For the $20 per semester, is there a limit to the number of evaluations they can do during that time? No. Nope. It's as many as your heart desires. So. Any other questions I can answer for the time being? So once a coach or a student goes in and they receive evaluation and they receive feedback from their video that has been submitted, all you do is hit exit, and as soon as you do that, that's automatically uploaded to the student's page, their GoReact page, and they can immediately start looking at the feedback and reviewing everything, and they're good to go from there. So we're getting another question in here. The price is for the semester. So I know that talking earlier in the session, there was talks about how there's some 6-month courses, 8-month courses, whatever. It's good for that entire period, for that one semester.
So it sounds like as a school, what we should do is contact you and negotiate it with GoReact, give you the details of how many students we want to be able to use. this program, how many evaluators we have, that kind of stuff, and then we would know sort of per student what the cost would be
Yes.
from there.
Yes. Yes. So, like I said, just right off the bat, if it's just, if you're just using it for one course, it's going to be $20 per student. Now, if there is, if you want to use it for more courses and, it's going to be used more in the department, we can work out pricing to make it a little bit cheaper for the students.
I would love it if, I think what might be really useful, because I think it's really cool, so I'm just going to take my poetic license here, is play the recording, showing the feedback, like actually seeing what a student would see once we've done the evaluation, actually showing this audience what the student sees. Because I think that's the thing that I find really quite compelling, is that somebody, it's as close to real-time feedback as we can possibly do without being physically present with them, because they're seeing what they did, what they said, how they said it, and then the feedback comes in right there, so they can actually hear and feel the difference of what they did and what we're suggesting. It would be really valuable.
Yeah, and so what we're seeing here, so the form that you see as a presenter or as the evaluator, this page that you see is going to be the same page that the student is going to see. And so you can see that, it's straight across the board, and we try to make the two ends of it, so both the student and the evaluator the same, and so you can, if there are any issues, anything like that on the student end, you can help that out a little bit more. So
you see that the comment comes up as it's playing. That's the part that I really like. The competency and the comment comes up at the bottom of the video. As you're listening to students listening to their own coaching, they see the comment come up right in real time. So that's the part that I think is really cool.
Yeah, and I agree. And so as a student comes in or a coach comes in and is watching this video, I mean, they can obviously see the text comments on the right-hand side, but they can watch the video, and as they're going through, comments will show up here down the bottom.
Can you show that? I mean, can you just like run it for a couple of seconds so that we can see?
Yeah, certainly. So let me just. You see down at the bottom.
We have sound?
We don't have any sound or any comments.
Can you do the...
Oh, do you not?
No.
Susan, you need to go to the top and click options and then fit to screen. And he can play the sound. You'd have to play the sound on your end for them to hear that.
Oops.
You want to take it back to the beginning of the session?
Yeah, certainly. Should I go back to full screen? Is that okay?
I think it would be better, but people have to make sure they choose the option.
Oh, got it.
To fit to screen.
And as you're watching this, we have a couple questions in here. Let's see.
I think that they want
there other platforms?
to hear the sound because it's the coaching that they want to understand how I fit the markers on what the coach was saying, me, where I did it bad and when I did it good.
Oh, where you did it bad and where you did it good?
Yeah, so if you can play it with the sound and everything so they can see, like from the beginning.
Yeah, certainly. Okay, I don't know how this is going to sound on my end. We may hear a little bit of
Feedback.
Feedback, yeah.
Hi.
How are you doing today? Good. Excellent. Good, good, good. How are you? Good. Thanks for being here. And so, do you want to tell me what it is you want to look at today? Yes. And pardon the sound. I have the door open. So let me know if that's too loud. I'll shut it. Warm here. I would like to talk about getting, especially getting my business off the ground in a more powerful, less slow way. So getting your business off the ground, is there something specific today that you'd like to get out of our
Rudy, the comments aren't coming up.
Yeah.
How are you? Good.
Huh, that is strange. Let me try doing this real quick.
All right. Hello. Hi.
And let's try this real quick.
What it is you want to look at?
Maybe if you reverse this
Okay.
right-hand side, there we go.
There we go.
Pardon the sound. I have the door open. So let me know if that's too loud. I'll shut it. Warm here. I would like to talk about getting, especially getting my business off the ground in a more powerful, less slow way. So getting your business off the ground, is there something specific today that you'd like to get out of our conversation today around that? Well, what I noticed is that I'm super distracted.
Okay. So you see as the student is watching the video, the comments will pop up as they're watching the video. And they can also see on the right-hand side when those pop up, as it is all time-stamped. So yeah. So I'm a little backed up on the questions here. Let me answer a couple. So are there other platform in which we can integrate and GoReact like Canvas? Yeah, we do have an integration with Canvas, as well as just getting one off the ground with Blackboard, D2L, and Moodle. Okay, can we use all 47 markers in one evaluation page instead of one competency at a time? So that goes back to what we were talking about with extending the markers past 15, but actually to go to the entire 47. So as far as that question is concerned, let me get back to you on that when we hear back from our product team and figure it out doing that. So. Okay, do you have any demo videos of this that we can show others? Yeah, in fact, if you're welcome to jump on and sign up for an account yourself by just going to GoReact.com. And up at the top right corner, it says sign up. So you just click that and it'll take you to your own personal page. And like I said, it's all free for instructors, but it'll put a demo course in there for you. And so you can play with the the demonstration a little bit and see exactly how it'll work out. Okay. Okay, how does it work when you have a transcript? Do you upload this first? Do you do commands come in the text? So the transcripts, you do upload that beforehand, and that can be done just in the settings of creating the course. Would like to be included on all. Okay, yeah, and like I said, I'd be happy to set up as soon as we're done here. With all the questions everyone has, I'll just do a quick preview of all those, answer all those questions once I talk to the appropriate people, and we'll make sure to get everyone's questions answered that way. And like I said, it's totally free to sign up for a GoReact account. And so if any of you feel so inclined to before you get the email, feel free to. It's really easy, and it's free. So is this in Spanish? Not right now, no. We do have some work that we're doing to make it available, but I don't know when that's going to happen. For one person, I'd say, okay, so if I'm mentor coaching one individual for certification, can I? Oh, and I'm sorry, I'm thinking about that Spanish question. You can actually use Chrome's auto translator. It may not be perfect, but it can certainly make it into Spanish. Okay, if I'm a mentor coaching one individual for certification, can it be purchased just for one person at the same price? Yeah, yeah, it can be purchased just for one person. Any other questions?
People can feel free to.
Does it come with instructions? I will certainly need it. So one of the great things, we're always available to come help. And when I say that, we between Sammy and I, we handle most of the training. We have a training staff here as well. And then we do a webinar series to help set up your course. But certainly, you know, if you sign up for a course, we're not just going to leave you in the dark, but, you know, we'll obviously help you set that up and get you running for the following semester. Do you need to be a member of Active to get this deal? So that would be a question for Haley, and I'm not entirely sure with everything on our end. So
we haven't made any special deals with Acto. It's all the individual schools that are able to GoReact and talking to them about their unique situation with the length of their program, because we don't really use the term semester, most of us. Some of the schools are associated with universities, and they might, and we, you know, every program is going to have a different number of students and a different number of evaluators and different length of the program. So I think that with all those variables, it's just, you go to GoReact and we're just facilitating you learning about this software if it's something you want to investigate further.
Great. Yeah, thank you for that, Haley. So how many minutes of video for $20 per semester? So the video, so the students submitting videos and you giving feedback, it's basically unlimited for this semester.
I think they're requesting that we talk more to see if we can get a benefit for Acto members, which I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm happy to do.
Yeah, we can certainly do that, and we will connect with Acto after this, and you know, certainly work things out. So tell us more about how it works with transcripts. Michael, I'd love to jump on a phone call with you after and just show you a couple things with that. So we don't create any transcripts. That's all you know, uploaded by either the student or I guess for the most part it would be by the student. But as far as adding that to the actual feedback, it's very simple. Okay, great. Any other questions?
I think.
Can we upload videos or audios? Yes, yeah, you can. So there's a few different ways. So as a, and it really just depends on where you want the video. So if you want the video for feedback purposes, so if a coach is submitting a video to you to get feedback on, all they have to do is they just hit upload video. They can either they can upload video from like YouTube or a personal file, or they can record themselves right and GoReact. And as far as the you know, if you're giving feedback, or if you want to set up a course just for you know, if you're setting up a course, you can also add videos or audio files to that as well. Okay, we'll have 20 students for our ACTP in September. We have 5 feedbacks for the program, so we pay for it. So yes, yeah. 20 times 5. That'd be right. So.
Well, 20 times 20. It's 20. It's just
20
the
times
number of
20.
students. It doesn't matter how many feedbacks times you give. It's like 20
Oh,
students
yeah.
times $20, right? Or less, I think.
Yeah, no, that's right. Sorry, I'm terrible at math. So
I'm good at it.
it would be 20 times 20. So the people giving the feedback are free, basically, but the students receiving the feedback will be $20.
Yeah, unless the school like Sue is offering to pay for her students, so she would pay $20 for each of her students. It may be useful to make the decision about how, if you want them to pay or you're going to pay yourself as an owner of the school.
And Hallie, there's also a confidentiality concern because of we can't, or I felt I couldn't, put videos on YouTube because anybody can see them. So there's a platform called Wistia that you can post your videos to, and then we post them from Wistia onto our own website. So we don't have any confidentiality issues.
So and that's actually a really good point too. So within GoReact, the student owns the video. And so it can't just be, shared with everyone unless it has the consent of the student. And so really the only if there's confidentiality issues, there shouldn't be with GoReact, because the student basically owns the video, and then they have to submit the video in order for the evaluator to do their feedback. Yes.
MP3 files for audio?
Yep. So if you do audio, they could just upload an MP3. One
of the comments that I would like to make, and I notice, I think transcripts are something that a lot of us have love-hate relationships with the transcript part of it. It's really useful when we're evaluating, but it's also annoying in some ways. So one of the things that I am noticing about the GoReact, if I'm evaluating the video, it actually kind of eliminates the transcript paradigm, because somebody's actually watching the actual video or listening to the audio of their coaching, and they're getting the comment at that time. It's stamped right on the coaching recording. So the transcript is just kind of this adjunct thing that doesn't really matter anymore. It's just a system that we've put on it to sort of be able to track when certain things were said or certain things were done. But if they're actually seeing the video evidence of what they did or what they said, the transcript doesn't matter anymore. So I know we need to give transcripts to the ICF when they evaluate coaching, but if we're evaluating coaching, and we can still use them, but it sort of shifts the paradigm a little bit in terms of how the student uses, or we use, the transcript. It's not, we don't have to search for those timestamps anymore to figure out where to tell somebody to look for the evidence of what we're saying. We're actually saying, look at your own coaching and find the evidence right where I said it. And so the transcript is part of what we do, but it doesn't become this thing that I think it takes the annoying part away for me, that I don't have to look for those timestamps anymore, because I'm just actually poking a button at the moment they actually physically do it, rather than the time doesn't mean anything anymore. Does that make sense? I think people, like I said, we have love-hate relationships with transcripts in my world, but
yeah, which makes sense. Which totally makes sense, and I would agree with what you said, Haley. And it is evidence right there, and it's all time stamped, and so you don't have to search the transcript to see when certain competencies were made, and so on and so forth.
Yes, and if the ICF agrees, Ellen, then perhaps. Well, and I did see George and Emily talking to Sammy for quite a long time at the conference, so we'll see if.
Yeah, and I know that Sammy is working with George at the ICF, and maybe this is something that a conversation that he will have with him.
Mhm.
So, any other questions I can answer?
We certainly got the group excited. I don't think I've seen this
Excellent.
questions ever on a forum call, so.
Good. I'm excited to hear that.
Oh, Karen has could you reiterate the stuff about confidentiality?
Yeah, certainly. So, so basically, the student it owns the video, so it's not going to be shared with anyone else besides just them. And when they choose to submit that video to the teacher or the evaluator, that's when that video becomes shared with just the evaluator. So, and as a side note to that, the student actually has access to their video recording and their feedback for up to 5 years. So, and that's regardless if they have a license to GoReact at that point, but they can still log in and view their videos.
So it's like password protected, or like they actually have to be logging into their account to get to their video.
Yes. Okay. Yep. Okay, and then Lee asked the client has to have a camera in place. So there are a couple different options. You know, obviously, you can use your, we have a mobile app, and so a coach or a student can actually just use the mobile app, hit record, and start recording themselves. And once they hit stop recording, they can submit the video right there to the evaluator. Some other different methods that people use, they'll actually just get one of those really cheap, like $10 cameras that just click into your computer, and they can record in the classroom right there. And also you can use your laptop. It's right there. Okay. When the license ends, do we lose the videos and the comments in? No. So for the student, they can actually access these for 5 years, and then we clear them off our system after 5 years. So you can actually go in and see those videos that you submitted after you log in and put your password and everything like that. You go in and view your video and see the comments made. Well, I would love to answer any more questions anybody has. When we get off the phone here, I will just send a quick email to everyone, just going over everything that we talked about, some of the questions that we had, and the answers to those questions. If you are looking for more information, feel free to reach back out. We'd love to set up a quick demonstration for you, get you set up with a free instructor account, and yeah, it'd be great.
What's your email?
My email is Brady, so it's just BRADY at GoReact, GoReact.com.
And I think what I'll suggest is for anybody who, if you did not register for this call on the Acto website, we will not have your email address. So please send your email address to I don't know what address to use. If you go on the Acto website, which is actoonline.org, there's 2 O's in the middle, actoonline.org is the website. You can send an email to membership or someone at the VA, and we'll make sure that you get all of the information that Brady's going to send out from this call. That is, if you did not register for this call, we will not have your email address, so there shouldn't be too many of you that didn't register for the call.
Great. Well, thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciated getting to know everyone. you know, through, you know, you looking at me and talking. So that was fun. So, yeah, again, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. You know, we'll continue to work with Haley and Acto and, you know, look for some of those features that we were talking about earlier.
All right. Great. Thanks, Brady, for being here. And
all right.
A reminder to everyone that we have another call in September 21st. And we'll look forward to seeing all of you there. All right. Have a fantastic day. Bye.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.